Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Cookieruntowerofadventures with us, Konn. And in this episode, I'm going to show you my experience on getting 3 stars from the boss fight in the main story mode. Well, at least the first 7 of those bosses. Anyway, if you like this kind of content, then be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell so you won't miss out anything that I put on this channel. Everything is free, you don't need to pay, and by subscribing you make this channel grow and flourish even more, which makes me happy so I can create more content for you to watch. So we are about to face the first boss fight in this game, which is going to be Happy Flower, the Garden Keeper. And since this boss is the first boss that you fight in the story mode, this is simply the easiest boss compared to every other boss in the game. Oh yeah, by the way, a little bit of a disclaimer, I'm fighting against all of these bosses in the normal difficulty. At some point in the future, I will make the hard version against these bosses. And the video duration is going to be a lot shorter compared to this one, because of the fact that there are only 2 bosses in the main story mode that got the hard difficulty treatment, which are the current boss that I'm fighting right now, Happy Flower, and last but not least, it's going to be Barb and Konn once again. When that video arrives on this channel, it is going to be the 3rd time that Barb and Konn is featured on this channel. And if you are interested into seeing what the raid mode of Barb and Konn looks like, the link will be available for you at the top right of the screen. Oh, it looks like the boss has a second phase, and the second phase only happens when the health is almost emptied. Oh, what is this? It reminds me of Toho games. Not quite though. Anyway, there you go. Boss number 1 has been beaten. So yeah, that's how you get 3 stars in the first boss fight. So yeah, for now I have nothing left to say, so I'm just going to stay silent at the moment. So, the second boss fight, Barb and Konn. This is the first boss fight that we ever fought in the raid mode. And if you are interested in my experience fighting this boss for the first time in that game mode, then the link will be available for you at the top right of the screen. Spoiler alert, it was a difficult one. And that was with 4 players, so I'm now alone, so this is going to be even more difficult. While this boss fight hasn't begun yet, let me explain the schedule for the next videos. So the next videos is going to be still in this game, and that is going to be the Glass Labyrinth guide. And coming after that, it is going to be Cream Soda Cookies trial in the Cookierun Oven Break, both in Diamond rank and also in the Rainbow rank. Later on, it is going to be Cheesecake Cookies trial, both in normal difficulty as well as in hard difficulty. Last but not least, during all of that, I'm going to release 2 raid mode videos from this game. The first one it is going to be the boss that by the time you watch this video it had been replaced by a brand new boss. And the second raid mode boss, it is going to be about the boss that replaces the second boss. Anyway, the battle against Barb and Konn is about to begin. Phew, that was a tough boss fight. I could not imagine how tough this boss will be in the hard difficulty. Anyway, it's time to move on into the next boss fight, which is going to be Cactor. So, Cactor, the third boss fight in this game. In my video on the raid mode against this particular boss fight, I claimed that this boss is the easiest boss fight in the entire game. So, let's see if that statement still holds up when I have to fight this particular boss fight alone. Oh yes, one thing that I haven't mentioned so far is this game's lore. So basically the game's lore is about everything is changed to the worst, and apparently it is because of the oven, and now we have to find the guardian cookies, which are the 6 symbols that you see at the start of the game. So for now, we are going to explore every single floors in order to find the guardian cookies. That's basically it. Oh yeah, about the sugar star as well. Well, that's for another video. So back into the situation at hand. Now Cactor doesn't want to give the money, the bounty money, because the money doesn't exist. I guess that we have to knock some sense out of him. Last but not least, before the actual boss fight starts, this overworld theme is the best one in the entire game. So that's how you get 3 stars in main story against Cactor. He's still the easiest boss fight in the entire game. Well, at least in my opinion. Anyway, let's move on into the next boss fight, which is going to be the Berry Bat. So, the 4th boss fight in this video, the Berry Bat. And I'm pretty sure that this boss also appeared in the beta. It did appear in beta as one of the boss fights that you can fight against in the main story mode. However, I'm not quite sure if this boss also appeared in the raid mode during beta. So if anyone got any information on that, please let me know in the comment section down below. In my experience fighting against this particular boss fight, this boss falls into the annoying category. Although it is not the most annoying one. That title goes to the next boss fight, which is going to be Floratz. Oh yes, I haven't explained about what happened in this conversation. So basically, Gingerbrave and Muscle Cookie drinks one of Alchemy Cookie's potions, and that made their personality change into not Gingerbrave and Muscle Cookie. So, in order to bring the personalities of those two back, we have to find Floratz. But we need to get past Very Bad here in order to get into Floratz. So, from one of the most annoying boss fight in this game into the most annoying boss fight in this game. Seriously though, the abandoned candy mine section has the most annoying boss fight in this game. Anyway, beating Cactor 4 in the main story in the normal difficulty unlocks the hard mode of the main story. Currently, when I record this video, the furthest capture that the game gives you is Cactor 2. I would recommend you to upgrade the cookies, because even on the first level on the hard difficulty, you need at least 29,000 power points. And by the way, in the story mode shop here, the shopkeeper does give you more items in the hard difficulty to buy. And speaking of which, these are also one of the places that we can get more resources to level up the cookies. Now is the time to move on into the next boss fight. So, the next boss fight, Floratz. This is, well, without a doubt, the most annoying boss fight in the entire game. At least in my opinion. If you are interested in my experience fighting this boss fight for the first time in raid mode, then the link will be available for you at the top right of the screen. Now back into the situation currently, and let's hope that the hypothesis given by Alchemist Cookie is right and we can bring back Ginger Brave and Master Cookie into the original personality of both of them. Whew, that was an unbelievable boss fight because it is such an annoying boss fight. Anyway, I've now leveled up into level 28, which the game gives me a plus 10 heart as a reward. Anyway, it's time to move on into the next boss fight, which is going to be the Banana-Kong. So the time has come for another lore section. So basically, everyone in the Banana tribe, the tribe where Plantain Cookie lives, are attacking each other. So in order to get into the bottom of this and what causes the tribe members to attack each other, we need some solution time, and with that we have to go to Banana-Kong to get some response from him, and unfortunately he's not responding and is now about to attack us all. After beating Banana-Kong, unfortunately we didn't get any answers from him. So in order to find the actual answer, we need to find Shamonkey. So Shamonkey, the 7th and final boss fight in this video. So do you remember the statement that I claimed that Floratz is the most annoying boss fight in the entire game? Well, Shamonkey takes that concept up to 11. That's because one of the requirements to get one of the stars is you have to get hit less than 10 times, which is easier said than done. With that out of the way, there is nothing that I will say for the rest of this video. So enjoy this boss fight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Konn, signing it off. and I'll see you on the next videos. Take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time.